and welcome to another video. Today I will be setting up my B6 Rings KKK planner for the month of March, and as you can see here I have emptied out all the inserts and just have the cover because I'll be setting it up and putting everything back in throughout the course of this video. The kit that I'm using to do this is the Happie Scrappie February 2019 planner kit. I did order this in the personal wide rings size, though I do think I will be transitioning to the generic planner kit. And I'll talk about the differences between those as we take a look at what's actually in this one. And so here I'm going through all the different things that are in the kit and I'm sorting them. If there's stickers that I won't be using because they're for like a weekly setup, I'm putting them off to the right. And if I plan to use something for this setup, then I'm moving it over to the left. So you've seen me place the little bunny boba pin, a patch, some tab stickers, some labels, and I believe a metal decal sticker. And yeah, I also have these bunny seal stickers, these dashboard cover things that came with my insert. I am not using, well, I don't have the insert here because I already had it in my planner, and so when I took the inserts out from my planner to do this, I took that out too, but we'll see it later. Those are the stickers that come with the kit. They're cut a little deep. I was surprised about that. In general, all this stuff was good, but I don't know, most places that I get stickers from, if they're cut too deep, that's like a quality control thing. Most places don't give stickers that are like cut all the way through. So if that bothers you, I guess you should note that that might happen, but it didn't bother me. The actual stickers were still nice. And so now I'm just showing you the vellums that we got. This month the foiling is holographic, and it's sometimes I know she mixes the foils, but this month everything was in hollow foil, except for the hardware on the pin, which was in gold. And we get two different kinds of papers that are double-sided, and we get two of each paper, so it's like 4 different paper designs total, yes, and 4 paper sheets. And yeah, so now I've sped up so that we can actually get to making things. I'm just measuring what I want to use as a template for my dividers, because I have a lot of different things in my planner that are all slightly different sizes, and I wasn't sure which would be best for a divider, and I finally settled on the size of the dividers that I had been using, which were the ones that came with the planner, these beige ones by KKK. And so I'm just marking some lines there, and I will be using this Fiskars paper trimmer to cut those so that I can turn them into dividers. And something about this setup that I think is different from other setups I've posted and done. Yeah, actually I've posted most of the setups I've done, so they're the same, but I want to keep this one more simple, so I am not adding a ton of things. The majority of this setup is the dividers, and then there's not a lot of additional decorative elements because they get in the way, and I feel like they catch on things and they bulk up my planner when I want to have more room for like inserts and pages and things. So I'm just using the dividers as my decoration, and I think that works because these papers are really decorative. They're not just abstract designs, they have lots of doodles on them and lots of foiling, and so I feel like to have added anything more to these papers would have been too much anyway. And so that's part of why I really like the Happie Scrappie kits. She doesn't include a ton of extra things that I feel compelled to use but then don't like using, like lots of die cuts or journaling cards. Or she doesn't make you pay for those like here. She does provide digital freebies in with the subscription. You get an email with the download link, and there you have the option to make your own die cuts or journaling cards, but you don't have to. And I like that because that means you're not paying to ship those, you're not paying for her to make them, and if you don't want them, like I don't use them, then you don't have to use them at all. But you get what I think is the most unique and special part of a planner kit, which are these papers that have been designed by whoever has made the kit, and so I really enjoy having lots of these, and I love that she gives us multiple copies of each paper and things like that. So I found this to be a really good kit. It's about, not about, it's exactly, it's $25. I don't know if that's flat or not. It's $25 to be shipped to the US. I know that because that's how much I paid. And I don't think there's too much variation on that. I think she has the fee pretty set. And so while I continue to make these dividers, which is a pretty slow and repetitive process, I do want to give you all some channel updates. I started this year thinking that I would do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. I started that. I did it for like a week and a half or something like that, and then I got sick. I was really sick for like 2.5 weeks. I had what I thought was a cold but never went away, and now think it was a sinus infection that I should have like gone to a doctor for long before it became 2.5 weeks. But it eventually went away on its own, which is something that sinus infections do. It was just like, if I had gone to the doctor, I might have been able to get medicine to like really scale down how long I was sick, but I didn't do that. I just waited it out, which meant that I wasn't posting anything. I was planning just barely to keep being able to get the work that I needed to get done, and then I had a cough, so my voice wasn't up for doing a voiceover, and it was a mess. So that happened, and then right after I got better, I started my spring semester of my senior year at college, so got caught up in that, getting used to the classes again after a long break, as well as being really involved in the job search process and going on interviews and just trying to figure out what I'm going to do next year. And so all of that means that I didn't post for a really long time, and now that I'm back, I've realized that I can't keep up a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, and I'm not even going to try to post on a particular date. I'm going to do my best to have at least one video up every week, and I don't know exactly when that video will happen. And eventually I want to ultimately get into a schedule. I'm still working on that, but for now this is kind of all I can commit to, is trying to get one video up per week. And so this video is going up, and when this video goes up there may or may not be another one. I haven't decided. But as you can see here, I got all my divider dashboard thingies cut and hole punched. And one thing about the hole punching is that if you're not punching an actual personal wide-sized insert, but yeah, a personal wide-sized insert, then you have to be careful with your hole punch. So my hole punch, if I put it the paper right against where it says to, like the guide, so that you can punch a personal wide-sized insert, that works if it's exactly that size. But these dividers are a little bigger, so even though I need the same holes because they're going into the same binder, if I put these dividers the same place I would put the paper for an insert, then the holes would be off-centered. So I can't follow the guide that they give me for my hole punch. I have to kind of eyeball where I think the middle of my dashboards are. Otherwise, I definitely won't be getting the middle. So that's just one thing to note. There's a skip here because I think I left and then I came back. I don't know what I was doing, but now I'm back and I'm just doing this. This took a long time. This was the longest part, was figuring out how to get these dividers made. And then here you can see me messing up these tab stickers. I don't know why I didn't realize that if I put the tabs, the rectangle part on the very edge, then there wasn't really a tab. I don't know what I was thinking. So I had to undo that carefully, and I was able to get the sticker back up without hurting the paper or the sticker too much, and for the rest of them I figured out how to do it. I've never used these kinds of stickers before, so I just wasn't thinking very hard when I tried it the first time. And something that I also find really hard is spacing dividers. I don't know, I hate it. It feels impossible. I was dreading this part, but as you can see, I counted and I figured it out, and it works. And so long as I don't add or subtract any inserts or divider sections, I don't have to do this again, thank God. I just have to put the dividers for my next setup in the exact same place as the ones I have right now because these work. They're as even as I can make them, and honestly I think they're pretty good, so I'm not worried. They probably aren't perfect, but they're good enough and I like them. So I'm glad that in the future I don't have to do this whole process again. But I do get these put down, and when putting them down I also had to think about the order that I wanted my dashboards to go in and the order that I see them in my actual planner when I'm flipping through it. And really my basic process is I did an alternation between whether the foiling was on the top or the back, because all these papers were foiled some way or another. So if it was foiled on the front in one divider, then the next divider I made sure wasn't foiled on the front, and then the one after that would be, and so on. And that's how I set that up. And one thing I really like about the Happie Scrappie paper is that it is pretty thick. It's like a cardstock paper, which means that I feel comfortable not laminating them, which is good because I don't have a laminator. So I had considered needing to buy one when I decided I wanted to do this kind of setup, but then I checked it out and the paper is really nice, and so I think it will last for as long as I intend to use it. And so because I am still subscribed, I hope to be able to just change out my dividers like this every month and kind of have a fresh sort of setup every month. And because of that, my dividers don't have to really last longer than a month or so before I'll put them away, until maybe in like a year or something I decide I want to try them again. But maybe by then I'll have a laminator. I don't know why that word was so hard to get out. Maybe by then I'll have a laminator. Until then, these dividers need to last short, but not too short term, and so I'm confident that they'll last at least a month, maybe longer, but I'll be taking them out by then. What you see here is actually the insert that came with the kits. It was a mixture of dot grid paper and a weekly insert. I think it's a week on 4 pages insert. But I have a really set and very good planning style right now. I really like it, and so I didn't want to use that new insert. I have it in here right now, but I take it out later and move some stuff around. And so now I'm just putting everything in, and it's really simple. I'm just one insert divider, and occasionally these washi cards. I made some washi cards for this setup at the beginning of like January, and realized that I hate having too many things in my pockets. I don't like them. I don't like washi cards in my pockets. They just don't make sense to me. They weren't doing anything, and I didn't find them that pretty either. Like, I'm unimpressed by washi cards. But I had them, and I realized that I needed bookmarks, and so I punched them so that I could put them in here as bookmarks, and I really like that. And I kind of made slits on the side so that I could easily pull them in and out. And that has been working really well. The washi cards I'm using are 2 from Simply Gilded, are really, really thin. Simply Gilded's washi cards are super thin and flexible, so they were easy to hole punch. And then a washi card from the GP Studio Advent Calendar, which is also pretty thin, but slightly thicker than the Simply Gilded. And so then we get to the front, and I've pretty much finished things. I'm flipping through to see if there's anything I want to add, especially these dashboard thingies. I'm using them to divide inserts within a divider tab. So like I have a whole divider for my main planning section, but in my main planning section I have my kit tracker, my weekly insert, and my memory planning notes thing insert. So yeah, I divided those up with those dashboards, and I am just kind of going through and seeing if I want to add any more sticker seals, any of the vellum. I think I still have a sheet of vellum left. Maybe 2. And so yeah, and this vellum in particular, the one I just laid down, is purely decorative, but the other pieces of and the one at the front, but I have a couple of others that I start to use to do more dividing within a divider tab. And now I'm going in to put some clear labels on the dividers. I don't really need them. I don't read them because I know what all my sections are and where they are, but I feel like without them, my setup didn't look complete. So I added those just to kind of give this a more finished look. And so because of that, it was not important to me that the clear labels matched exactly what the thing in the divider was. So I just picked whatever I thought was closest to what was within that divider. And if I pause, if you've heard my pauses, it's because I'm also drinking coffee while filming this voiceover. I guess it's recording while recording this voiceover. I did keep the page lifter from that came with the Kiki, and I added that Boba Bunny sticker to it, and I thought that was really cute. I put the pen that came with the kit in a pen loop for decoration, and then here I'm fiddling with the enamel pin that came with the kit, and I really love this pin. I didn't realize shops had started to have enamel pins that were magnetic on the back, because it's brilliant. It means that you can put it in your planner and stick it with a magnet behind the pocket and not ruin your planner. Whereas if you wanted to put a similar pin and it had the like pointy pin part, you would just have to put a hole in your planner. And that, I didn't know people were doing this, so I always thought most people put holes in their planners. And I was always scandalized. And so I was really excited to see that this was like a thing. And I just think it makes the little pocket there look so cute because it's not in a pocket, and there's this blank space by the Kiki logo that now has that little boba bunny there, and I really like that. And so then I just added like a couple of things to the pockets, mostly functional but a couple of decorative. I added my sticky notes, which I like to have. They were from the Simply Gilded September sub box. I added some to-do list papers that I printed just in case I need some extra room. I used the packaging from the kit as a background to all of that because it had a really cute bow on it. And then you saw me put down the metal decal sticker on a random divider, and I wish I had put it on my laptop. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I had to use everything that I got in this setup, but I could have put it up somewhere else, and it's a metal sticker and it's so pretty, and I don't put a lot of stickers on my laptop because I'm afraid of the commitment of putting a sticker there on this laptop that I know I'm going to have for like absolutely as long as possible. And so I don't want to like take up the space on the front too soon, and I don't want to put down something I might want to take off later. And so I have like one sticker on there right now, but this metal boba bunny was definitely something I should have stuck on there. So the next time I get something similar from one of these kits, I'm definitely just going to stick it on the front because I think that they're really cool, and it's the kind of thing I would want to have in my, whatchamacallit, what is it called? In my laptop, sorry. Okay. And so while I was doing all that rambling, we neared the end. We got to the end of this setup, and here I am just flipping through what everything looks like now that it is all put together. And I really love how this came out. I'm having a good time with it. I've been in this for about a week now, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what she comes up with for next month. I'm excited to swap things out and keep playing with all of these fun things. So yeah, if you liked what you've seen, please be sure to like, comment, and or subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.